Before you had a name, before you were taught the rules, you were a sovereign. You were a king, a queen in a kingdom of one. Your emotions were raw, honest, and unapologetic. Your creativity was a chaotic, beautiful force that needed no justification. You moved without fear, loved without conditions, and believed in your own magic because you had not yet been taught to doubt it. You did not ask for permission to exist. You were a law unto yourself. This was your birthright. This was your true state. Then the thieves came. They did not come at night with masks and weapons. They came in the light of day, with smiles and good intentions. They came as parents, as teachers, as society itself. Slowly, methodically, they began the great heist. They taught you to be smaller, to be quieter, to be more convenient. They replaced your wildness with good behavior, your certainty with doubt, your honesty with politeness. They did not break you. They dismantled you piece by piece and convinced you that this fragmented version was the real you. You have spent your adult life wondering where that powerful, fearless child went, feeling like a ghost in your own life, believing you are fundamentally flawed. That is the lie that guards their stolen treasure. Your power was not lost. It was not surrendered. It was stolen. Today, you are not here to heal. You are here to conduct a heist. This is the blueprint to break into the vault and take back the kingdom that is rightfully yours. 1. Identify the heist. Your power was stolen, not lost. The first and most critical step is to reframe your entire story. You must stop seeing your condition as a personal failure. You did not lose your confidence. You did not misplace your creativity. You did not let go of your power. A child does not have the capacity to consent to such a transaction. It was taken from you through a systematic process of conditioning. The tools of this heist were subtle but brutally effective. The first tool was shame. It was the look of disapproval when you were too loud, the sigh when you were too emotional. It taught you that parts of your authentic self were unacceptable. The second tool was guilt. It was the burden of making others responsible for your feelings, and you for theirs. It taught you to be a psychic caretaker, abandoning your own needs. The third tool was comparison. It was the constant measurement against siblings, classmates, and impossible standards. It taught you that your inherent worth was not enough. When you see this not as how you were raised, but as the mechanics of a heist, everything changes. You are not a broken person who needs fixing. You are a sovereign who was overthrown. The anger you feel is not a flaw. It is the first spark of the rightful ruler waking from a long slumber. This anger is righteous. It is the fuel for your reclamation. 2. Locate the vault. Your body holds the memory. Your stolen power is not gone forever. It is locked away in the most secure vault in the existence, your own body. Every time you were told to stop crying, the unshed tears were stored in your chest. Every time you were told to sit still, the unspent energy was stored in your muscles. Every time you swallowed your anger, the unspoken scream was stored in your jaw. Your anxiety, your chronic pain, your shallow breathing, these are not random dysfunctions. They are the locks on the vault. To take your power back, you must first learn to feel your body again. Not as a source of pain, but as a map. Your mission is to inhabit your own flesh with the intensity of a treasure hunter. When you feel that familiar knot of anxiety in your stomach, do not run from it. Go into it. That is a lock. Ask it, what are you guarding? What truth is hidden here? This is not a gentle process. It is the act of feeling the full force of the emotions you were forced to suppress. You must be willing to feel the rage, the grief, and the terror that you were taught were dangerous. Each wave of feeling you successfully navigate without judgment is another lock on the vault dissolving. The power is not in releasing the feeling, but in proving to yourself that you are strong enough to finally contain it. 3. Reclaim your no, the first key of sovereignty. The first piece of your sovereignty that was stolen was your no. As a child, your no was pure. It was a clean expression of your boundaries and desires. But you were taught that a no was an act of defiance, that it would lead to the withdrawal of love and safety. You learned that a yes, even a dishonest one, was the price of admission to your family, to your tribe. Your no became a forbidden word. The reclamation of your kingdom begins with the reclamation of this single word. Your no is the key that reestablishes your border. You must practice using it, first in small ways, then in larger ones. Say no to the extra task you don't have energy for. Say no to the invitation that fills you with dread. Say no to the person who drains your spirit. Each time you say an honest no, you are taking back territory. First, it will feel dangerous. Your nervous system, conditioned for compliance, will scream in protest. Guilt will rise. Fear of abandonment will surface. You must stand firm. Your no does not require an explanation or an apology. It is a complete sentence. It is the sound of a king drawing the boundaries of his kingdom. It is the first and most powerful declaration that you are no longer available for invasion. 4. Detox from their voice. Silence the internal critic. The most successful thief is the one who convinces you to guard your own prison. The voices of those who dismantled your power, the parent who called you stupid, the teacher who called you lazy, the peer who called you weird, did not disappear. They merged and became one, a single, relentless voice in your head. The internal critic. This voice is not you. It is a ghost. It is their programming running on your hardware. It is the echo of the heist, designed to keep you from ever realizing the throne is empty. You cannot fight this voice. You cannot argue with it. You can only do one thing. Recognize that it is not yours. The detox is a process of radical disidentification. When the voice rises to tell you that you are not good enough, you must observe it with the cold detachment of a scientist. You must say, I recognize that voice. That is the fear program. That is the shame program. That is not me. You do not engage. You do not debate. You simply label the broadcast and refuse to obey its commands. With each act of non-engagement, the voice loses its power. The ghost begins to fade, and in the growing silence, for the first time in years, you will begin to hear your own true voice. 5. Reactivate your wildness. Break the chains of good behavior. Your wildness was the single greatest threat to the system. Your untamed creativity, your boundless energy, your inconvenient curiosity. This was your raw connection to the divine, and it was dangerous. Could not be controlled. So it was shamed, disciplined, and medicated out of you. You were rewarded for good behavior, which was code for predictable, passionless compliance. To take back your power, you must deliberately reactivate your wildness. This means intentionally breaking the rules of good behavior. Do something for no reason other than the sheer, unapologetic joy of it. Sing loudly and off-key. Write a terrible poem. Dance in your living room until you are breathless. Create something messy and unproductive. This is not about being reckless. It is about remembering that your life force does not require a purpose to be valid. It is about reconnecting with the part of you that acts on instinct, not on a cost-benefit analysis. The system taught you to be a well-oiled machine. Your wildness reminds you that you are a sacred, untamable animal. This is the energy that will fuel your revolution. 6. Trust your own sight. Reclaim your perception. As a child, you perceived the world with startling clarity. You could feel the tension in a room. You could see the dishonesty behind a smile. But when you spoke these truths, you were told you were too sensitive, making things up, or overreacting. This was the most insidious part of the heist. You were taught to invalidate your own perception. You learned to trust their version of reality over your own. Reclaiming your power requires you to make a sacred vow. Your perception is once again the final authority in your life. What you feel is your truth. What you see is your reality. If a situation feels wrong, it is wrong for you. If a person feels dangerous, they are dangerous to you. You must fire the external jury that you have allowed to rule over your life for decades. Stop asking for opinions. Stop seeking validation. Go into the silence, consult your own senses, and trust the data they provide. This is how you reclaim your inner compass. Without it, you are a ship lost at sea. With it, you are the master and commander of your own voyage. 7. Forgive the thieves, not the theft. Release the energetic anchor. As you reclaim your power, You will feel a deep and righteous anger towards those who took it. This anger is a necessary stage, but if you hold on to it, it becomes an anchor, keeping you energetically tethered to the very people who harmed you. Your rage gives them a permanent residence in your mind and body. The ultimate power move is not vengeance. It is release. This is not the weak, passive forgiveness you were taught. This is sovereign forgiveness. You do not forgive the theft. The theft was a violation, and you see it with clear eyes. You forgive the thieves. You recognize them as deeply programmed, unconscious beings, likely victims of the same heist themselves, passing down the only patterns they knew. You forgive them not for their sake, but for yours. You forgive them to cut the final energetic cord. You forgive them to reclaim the vast amount of energy you have been spending on resentment. You look at the past, you acknowledge the crime, and then you turn your back and walk away, finally and completely free. 8. Ascend the throne. Occupy your own life. The final act of the heist is not to simply take back your power, but to use it. The throne of your kingdom has been sitting empty your entire adult life. You have been letting fear, doubt, and the opinions of others rule in your place. Now you must ascend. Ascending the throne means occupying your life with your full weight. It means making clear, decisive choices that honor your own soul, even if they disappoint others. It means expressing your truth without apology. It means taking up space unapologetically. It means celebrating your own existence. This is not a one-time event. It is a daily choice. With every decision, you ask yourself, is this choice being made by the sovereign or by the ghost of my conditioning? You choose the sovereign again and again. You stop being a visitor in your own life. You stop being a servant to the memory of your thieves. You place the crown on your own head and you begin to rule. Your power was never destroyed. It was merely locked away. The child you were is not gone. They are waiting for you, the adult, to finally become brave enough to lead the rescue mission. That mission begins now. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comments section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.